1, 2. Ah. One focus that makes the 3 most important parts of the power pocket happen as a consequence. So the 3 things are elbow up, elbow out away from your chest, and elbow driving this way. All 3 of these things happen because of internal shoulder rotation, and that's why most people, when they try to do keep the elbow up directly, drive the elbow directly, oh no, they drive it into elbow dip external shoulder rotation. Because if you're not internally rotating strongly enough, those things, driving the elbow or trying to keep it up, they won't happen. They will lose to the other common patterns that happen when you try to power up. All right, warning, if your body's not used to doing internal rotation while throwing powerfully, you can hurt your shoulder. You need to ease into this with lower power, lots of reps, build up that internal shoulder rotation strength. Ideally, do some internal shoulder rotation exercises, look them up. There's lots of really basic ones that are great. So yeah, be careful. And the harder you throw, the more internal shoulder rotation, like power is needed to not elbow dip and to get to that power pocket, to be able to handle the extra power from your rotation. This drill revolves around one simple explanation. If you put the disc flat like this with your elbow bent and your elbow dipped, and you focus on internally rotating your shoulder, the most natural thing to happen is for the disc to be on briefcase. If you focus from this position with the elbow up in a good power pocket, if you focus on turning the disc out of briefcase to try to get it back to flat, the most natural thing to happen is for the elbow to dip like this and to go into external shoulder rotation. Your elbow is trying to help you. You're saying, I want to twist my forearm like this, and your elbow's like, oh, I can help you do that. Try to get some wrist curl action too and aim high on the net. 1, 2, 3. Now, medium power for me. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. All right, progressing to higher power now. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. So it's very important with this, briefcase pocket, focusing on the out of briefcase drill, to do some in lots of hyzer posture and just focus on going like this. Turn it from this nose up hyzer into this nose down hyzer. I'm staying in this hyzer posture. Just do a lot of reps like this. All right, so here's focusing on the out of pocket extra hyzer posture. sink your butt back to hinge at the hips and then engage your core. And I'm just gonna go like this and then turn it out of briefcase. Nose down, hyzer. 1, 2, 3. All right, low power. It's actually easy to exaggerate it too much. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Medium power now. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. All right, higher power now. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. So anytime you see your form deteriorate as you increase the power, go back down a little bit and try to find the zone where it's challenging to maintain the form change, but it's still possible. That's the zone that you want to focus on. As you get better in that zone, you'll be able to move it up. So always go back to that zone anytime you go beyond it and you're starting to fail too much. It's a lot harder when you make the transition from the coil pause to a standstill because you don't have that pause to, switch your focus to be fully on the pull through. That's where the coil pause one step comes in. It's kind of like a bridge between the coil pause and the full standstill without pausing. Can help you play with that more dynamic feel of it to help you get into doing it in a standstill, and then from a standstill to an actual one step without being already coiled. And then from there, progress to a really slow walk up X step before you go to a run up. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Loosen your grip and now tilt the paddle a little bit forward like this. This is now called Eastern forehand, and that's the grip I recommend. Maybe even tilt it a little bit more. That's the grip I recommend. So now the webbing, instead of it being directly on this surface here, it's more on this kind of corner here. So the reason I recommend holding it like that is because this is continental, and then we tilt it into this Eastern forehand, but we're swinging it backhand. So for forehand, that's tilting it forward, but since we're backhand, it's now tilted backwards, and I'm going to tilt it a little bit more to exaggerate. So when it's tilted backwards like that, we're setting it up more nose up, and so it's going to require more arm rotation to get it nose down. And to get a louder whoosh, you're going to have to turn in that nose down direction just to get the paddle to be more perpendicular. If you don't turn it, then you're kind of slicing it through the air like this, and you're not going to hear as much of a whoosh as if you turn it. All right, so here's what it looks like first if I do the timing where I turn it into briefcase as soon as the pull through starts, trying to do it immediately. And what do I mean by the pull through starting? I don't even mean the arm starting anything. The arm is only internally rotating. That's the only thing we're trying to do with it, focusing on. And so the start of the pull through is, in this sense, not from the arm, but from the rotation starting. And the rotation starting is from the brace leg, from this knee, just bringing it back like this. Extending the knee is going to make the pelvis turn, and then the chest is going to start turning. So we're timing it to that. So as soon as I move this knee, that's when I turn the paddle into briefcase. 1, 2, 3. So now in this timing, I'll show you what it looks like if I'm a little bit slower on the internal rotation. I'm going to try to start the pull through like this without turning the paddle into briefcase. And so what should happen is my elbow is going to start dipping because I'm not doing enough internal rotation to stop that from happening. So we're going to see it dip initially, and then I'm going to do the internal rotation, and the elbow is going to pop up, out, away from my body, and be driven across the body. So showing it with the disc, this is why this helps with the nose down. So here, turning it into briefcase. If I keep it at briefcase, this is now nose up. I'm swinging that way, nose up. And so here on the way out of the pocket, that's where you have to turn it out of briefcase to get it nose down.